Hey, Mark, fake banter for the intro.
That's all I know how to do.
Great.
Good to be here.
Welcome to Tuesdays with
Stories.
Hit her in the face with a surfboard.
And then the duck fell out of his bag.
Surf's up. And she didn't even flush.
Knock, knock.
Who's there? Mark Norman and Joe List.
Yeah! This is Tuesdays with Stories, everybody.
Nah, that's terrible.
This is supposed to be cheesy.
My radio is spitting at me.
Hey ho! Here we are, folks. It's Tuesday. Good to see you there, Fatty. How are you?
I'm okay, you know. I got one issue, and the Patreon members who get the video a week early,
Yes.
which is a big thing, because I know a lot of people they get the podcast via YouTube.
Oh, yeah. YouTube's number one, they say now.
So for those of you who are on the Patreon get that a week early, you'll see I got an issue with my head. The spikes over here.
Aha.
It's not supposed to be spiky over here. It looks too 80s. You see the spikes on the diagonal spikes?
It's a little 80s, but what do you want over there? It's all got to spike evenly.
Yeah, but
Like Corona.
It should be more of a swoop than a spike.
Well, it's got a spike to swoop. It'll swoop eventually.
Yeah, I think I got to keep growing, but right now I'm all spiked. And I never knew this. I remember getting my hair cut. I got the Russian Jews cut my hair. They really are kicking ass in the haircut game.
Oh, they're great. They're number one. It used to be, I guess it was always there. It used to be Armenian or Italian. You know, it was a cool Italian guy like in Seinfeld. And then now it's the Russians.
That guy just died, by the way, Enzo the barber.
Oh, really?
Enzo the baker. Oh, there's Enzo the baker from Godfather and Enzo the barber from Seinfeld.
Aha. Boy, you
Different
went
guys.
You went lower in volume all of a sudden.
I did?
Yeah.
What the fuck happened?
Uh-oh.
Can you hear me?
Now you're good.
What the hell happened?
It dipped. Enzo is low.
Oh, but only for you. The fans should still hear me normal
Oh.
because I got the Zoom.
Shouldn't have said anything.
But you can hear me now.
I can hear you now, Verizon.
Well, it might be because the mic, I like to block my horrid teeth with the microphone visually.
Aha.
So maybe the microphone is blocking the audio from the computer. Is that possible?
Maybe, but it was a dip. It's back now.
All right, so a brief dip, but we're back.
Better than a bean dip, which I never got. Whoever likes bean dip, you're a minority.
Yeah, what is that? So you're dipping into beans.
Yeah, it's a bean kind of a paste they make, and you dip into it. Look, if you want to throw some queso in there with the bean, all right, but just the bean, kill yourself.
Yeah, I don't like beans. I remember when I first started going to Chipotle, I got the beans because I thought you had to have beans.
Right.
They were like black or brown. They didn't say black, brown, or no beans. So, you know me, I'm a nervous fella, although less nervous now than then. I just went, give me the black. Because I wanted to be PC, and I didn't enjoy I didn't enjoy the beans then, and it took me 300 burritos before I finally went, hey, can I get no beans? And they were like, of course, we don't give a shit.
Yeah, they probably they're saving product.
Well, they don't care. They're getting $12 an hour or whatever.
That's true. But yeah, I used to be a pinto man. I was a pinto man for 5,000 burritos, and all of a sudden I said these pintos, they take over the whole thing. It's like they gentrify. It ruins the neighborhood, and so now I go black. Black beans matter.
Interesting. I don't understand. I don't want to get controversial and weird here, but this is something I genuinely don't understand, and no offense to you. I don't know if you're the guy to be asking.
Bring it on. I like it.
But I know gentrification is evil. I understand. That's bad. Gentrification, bad, as I've been told. I get it. But doesn't it feel, and I'm just asking, I don't know this. I'm just questioning. Don't cancel me. Don't fuck me in the ass with a wooden spoon. But doesn't it seem like strangely similar to what went on in the 60s with like busing? If you're like, hey, don't you move in here. This is our neighborhood.
Right.
You get out of here. This is us. We were here first, and it's ours. get out of here because you're going to ruin the neighborhood if you come. Isn't that similar to, like, busing?
Wow, this is a whole big can of jizz because this goes back to, like, black-owned business or, like, those black movies where we want only black people on the set. All the crew has got to be black. So you're like, well, it's kind of that woke is so woke it's racist thing where you're like, well, isn't that segregation? Aren't you saying that this it's only supposed to be one group? What about Asians? What about Hispanics? You know, so I agree with you.
Wait, don't say agree. Don't say agree. I'm asking a question.
Oh, sorry. I hear you. I hear you there, Tubbs. But I think it's all very kooky because, you know, you always hear like, we don't want these people in our neighborhood. And you're like, yeah, but this neighborhood used to be Italian. But then you came in. So now it's yours. And then eventually the Jews are going to come in. Then the Eastern Indians. And then the Choctaw. And then the Hutsu and the Tutsis.
Right. So I do understand the idea. Shelby's calling us here, so I get a little nervous. You respond to Shelby, maybe? Because we had a little confusion. Shelby was over there. We had a different thing. I don't want to leave him I don't want him to start a different thing. He can join this thing.
I'll just tell him we'll send him the Zoom, and he's off the hook.
I already sent it to him, so he can jump in and...
Oh, great.
So he should have the link. Just let him know we sent him a link. We got started.
Got it.
This is good pod, I think. But I understand. I think I understand why gentrification is bad because you price out whoever was in the neighborhood, whether it be black folks or Dominicans or Hispanics, whatever. You come in and you fancy up the neighborhood and you price them out, and then the landlord spikes the rent and kicks them out. So I do understand the issue there.
It becomes a racial thing, which it shouldn't, because gentrification just means the richer guy comes in and changes everything. But it gets all racially squiggly because, races tend, like the honkies or the Jews or whoever tend to be more financially stable.
Right. So I guess I understand it, but it's confusing.
Yes. Well, it's nuance. It's complex, much like everything else, and nobody wants to talk about that. It's just black and white, no anal intended. Right.
So Shelby's in here now. Shelby, is we doing okay? Because we just did the video on our own. I can send it to you. Is that all right? I guess he can't communicate. I don't know what happens here. He'll text.
All right.
Oh, here he comes. He's in.
Oh. Shelby's like, oh, there we went. No, let's keep going. The people want to hear from you.
But he's not picking up on this because we got the Zooms. We don't know what's happening. Shelby's saying things, but the people can't hear him. Only we can hear him.
Ah, damn.
Well,
He's like the parents in Muppet Babies. You can't hear him.
So Shelby, can I just send you this video and then you piece it together? Okay, so we'll just continue on if that works. Okay. Oh, shit.
All right. Good enthusiasm, Shelbo. Where the hell were you anyway? He's muted.
But anyway, so I do get it, but it's tricky and nuanced, and sometimes it's some of the stuff is hard to understand.
I agree. I mean, I thought we were all trying to coexist and live together and down with hate. You know, the more we say down with hate, the more we find a group to hate. Like, I hate Republicans. I hate police. I hate this. You're like, what happened to all about love?
Yes, it's very tricky, but...
Tricky Dicky.
It's straight. But anyways, I didn't mean to go hot and heavy there. I don't even know what made me think of that, but...
I get it. Everybody wants... They want it their way. And then when you're like, yeah, okay, well, I want it my way. Then they go, yeah, but that's infringing on me. And I'm like, well, yeah, but you're infringing on it. So it's just... I think everybody's a selfish chooch, and... Nobody wants to bend, but they want everyone else to bend.
Yeah, it's all tricky dicks. Like I keep hearing people be like, we got to suspend all the rents and the mortgages, which sounds nice. But then you're like, my landlord is a florist. He owns the one building with 4 units. And if we don't pay our rent, he's going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
But I guess his rent would be suspended too?
Maybe. I think he makes his dough on the rent.
I would imagine so, and he's a hell of a nice guy. I mean, he's not a Donald Trump type. He's like a nice Greek fella with ripped jeans going, I don't know, I have a building.
Right. Sounds like a good egg. I like him. Ripped jeans though. What is he, from the 80s? Or are they they're old?
Wear and tear, I think.
I see. Well,
but anyways, what do we do? I took us in a weird direction. This isn't us. Who are we, crazy?
I don't know. I feel weird. It feels like we're on Tucker Carlson over here, or Mad Money. Remember Mad Money?
No.
Oh, that bald guy with the tie was going, "Oh, you gotta buy a Microsoft, you faggots," or whatever he said.
Oh, is that the Louis C.K. looking guy?
Yeah, a little bit.
There's the one guy that looks kind of like Louis. I see when I used to search Louis' name on Twitter, half the tweets were photos of the money guy being like, "Hey, Louis on money," or whatever.
Well, his whole thing is he had all these horns, like hee-haw, hee-haw, and he was like a radio disc jockey guy, like, "Whoa, I can't believe you lost all that Facebook stock, you fucking cum guzzler."
Uh-huh.
And he would get all close to the camera. That was back when you could just be outlandish and be eccentric and you'd get a TV show.
Yeah, I guess not anymore.
Well, now that's all, everybody's doing that. It's all online. I don't know. But let me run this one by you there, Sloppy Jalopy, because I can't figure this one out. This is a curb moment here, and I need your input. So this is all about perception, and reality's out the window now. So I'm walking down the sidewalk, and there's a big restaurant row. All these restaurants around the sidewalk, the chairs, the tables, and I'm kind of in my phone. I'm in my own world. That's on me. And I notice, I look up, and I'm walking through the chairs, through the restaurant, I guess, on the sidewalk. And so the waiter's like, "Hey, what?" I'm like, "Oh, shit, sorry." So I get back out, away from the chairs. Now I'm on the public sidewalk, and I'm about a foot or 2 feet away from the sandwich board. You know, that thing that says, like, "Tonight on sale, we have escargot and anal," or whatever it is.
Sure.
Yeah. So I'm about a foot away, and a big gust of wind comes and knocks it over. I didn't touch it, but I was a foot away. So now the waiter goes, "Geez, you walked through the restaurant, you douche, and now you're knocking over our sign?" I go, "I didn't touch it." But I'm on my hands and knees picking this thing up. I'm shining it off with my shirt, blowing on it, trying to get the AIDS off of it. And he's yelling at me, but I never touched it.
I've done that before. I've had similar incidents. Not that, but where you're walking through the Home Depot parking lot and boop, 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 the car goes off. And you're walking by, and I'm going, "Hey, I'm just going to buy a couple 2x4s to pretend I'm Hacksaw Jim Duggan." It went off. I didn't touch it.
Yes.
So I've been in a similar spot, but I do understand where you're coming from. You got to pick it up because it seems like it.
Yes, but it just shows that this guy 100% thinks I did that. And if he was on a lie detector, if he was in court and they said, hear ye, your honor, he would be telling the truth because that's what he thought.
Well, that's a little. I would take away from that part. I would disagree with. He wouldn't be telling the truth because the truth is you didn't.
That's true. But
if we start going, if you believe it, it's true. I mean, now we're into. I don't want to name names, but that's how we're gotten into this mess we're in here.
Good point. But I think he would pass a lie detector.
Yes. Okay. So pass a lie detector. Probably would because he believes it.
Yes.
Sure, but you can believe something's true and have it be wrong, like the flat Earth or gays, whatever it is.
Women are funny. Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah, but it's interesting how if you believe it, that's it. And he in his mind, he's like, why wouldn't I believe it? You walk through, you're already a piece of garbage walking through our restaurant, and then you probably got mad about me yelling at you. So why wouldn't you knock it over?
I mean, what bad luck, though, that you're acting cuckoo and then the wind swoops in. That's a bad wind swoop.
A bad swoop, and it just shows that, it's kind of a microcosm or whatever you want to say, a little metaphor for the whole country right now, because some people are like, COVID's not real. Then some idiots are like, hey, the Jews are ruining our economy, and then, cops or whatever, but who knows if they're right or wrong, but they're going with it.
Yeah, it's up and down and over and out. I don't know who to believe, what to believe. They say you got to go to alternative news sources, and this news is bad, MSNBC is bad, and Fox News is bad, and NBC is bad, and CNN's bad, and your mother's cunt smells. Yep. And so I go and read everything. I'm reading like Cuckoo, QAnon. I'm reading NBC. I'm watching this. I go and I read Dave Smith's tweets. I'm looking at Tim Dillon's tweets, and I look over here and over there up my ass, and then I look at just what I'm seeing out my window.
Yeah,
and it's all wild. Everyone uses the sources when it fits their thing, and they don't use the sources when it doesn't. Like I saw one guy claiming everything's bullshit, and he's using the CDC's numbers. But I'm like, well, so now you use the CDC. Wouldn't they be bullshit if you're saying everything's bullshit? I don't know what the fuck.
It's true. It's the sandwich board all over again. I saw a thing with Fauci where some guy was like, so our protests, are they causing COVID? And he was like, well, I don't know, and he's like, well, you said we can't go to church or funerals or parties. Why wouldn't a protest? He's like, well, and then the news on one side says, reporter destroys Fauci, burned him to the ground. And then the other side says, Fauci, fail. Reporter fail. Fauci crushed him. Yeah.
Right, and people don't watch the videos to make up their own thing, but it seems to me that outdoors is fine. I mean, outdoors, I'm over here. I blew 3 guys in the woods the other day. It's outside, so it doesn't. I'm not gay, and but, I mean, I just think we should be able to go to a ball game all of a sudden. But now they got this. This isn't even our podcast. This should be a bonus app. We're getting too kooky here.
Yeah, this is cuckoo bananas over here.
But now I read they have the spit test. They have the test where you spit on it like it's a cock, and it tells you 8 minutes later if you have it. They should be mass producing these fucking things. They cost $5. They could be sticking it up our ass for $12. And that way we could go to the ball game, sit outside the park, hawk a loogie on it, wait 5 minutes, and they go, you're good to go. Get in there, have a hot dog and a beer.
I love it. That's a great idea. And I don't want to speak out of jizz, but I missed a big couple of gigs because the guy was like, you've been traveling. I don't know what you got. And then I got tested, but the results took 3 weeks.
These 3-week tests. Our friend James Heskey, who's one of the funniest guys in the world. If you don't follow him on Twitter and Instagram, folks.
Funny guy.
But he had a funny one. He's like, he tweeted the other day, he's like, great news, guys. I did not have COVID on July 15th. It was like he tweeted it on like August 12th.
Right,
is the joke. I guess if you saw the dates, it would be a funnier joke.
I get it.
But anyways, I mean, I don't know. But there was some good news today. Today being Monday, the New York Times said we're a lot closer to herd immunity than we thought. Did you see that?
Ooh, I did not. Amber Heard. What happened?
Oh, I had Sarah hold my ankles in the air, and I came in my own mouth and my glasses. Wow,
what is it? Your birthday?
Almost. Not really. Oh, yours is coming up.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, boy, 37. How old is that? I'm a geezer.
Yeah, well, you haven't caught me yet.
All right, probably never will.
We'll see.
All right.
What's weird is eventually you will if I die.
That's true.
Wow,
wouldn't that be something? A silent Ree attacked.
Feels like most Rees are quite noisy, actually.
That's what it seems like.
But
Rihanna. Wait, what's the good news?
Oh, so anyways, it says we're closer to herd immunity, but I mean, who knows what the fuck? It goes back to what we're talking about. It's the Times. So all the people that are anti-New York Times should be like, that's bullshit. That's a lie. But anyways, the New York Times released a thing today saying originally they thought would have to have 75 to 80% of people exposed to get herd immunity, but now they think it might be 45 to 55% of people. And in cities like New York, we may have already reached that, which may be why we haven't had a spike or an uptick in fucking 3 months.
That makes sense. I mean, I don't want to jizz on my own asshole, but I think I have herd immune. I think I'm good to go.
I think I might too. I mean, I had quite a cough back in the day, and we obviously in America were ignoring the shit for weeks while it was ravaging everywhere. So we were going to shows, we were at the cellar, the basement, the airplanes. So most likely we were exposed back in March. I mean, we were all over the place kissing our parents and shit.
Yeah. I fucked my mom, and I think I had it still. I really think I got it and got over it.
Yeah, so We might be better. We might be okay soon.
All right. Hey, finally, some great news. I read this article today. It was so depressing. I'll send it to you. It's called "Is New York Dead? Hell yeah, blow me" or something. It was a horrible title, and it was just. I read the whole thing, and it's just like, yeah, that's not coming back. And he listed all the reasons why it's gone and not coming back. He's like, it's gone before. We had 9/11. We had a recession. We had Wall Street. We had this, but it's never coming back.
Well, here's the thing with that. First of all, as we know, as we've talked about, I'm sorry, we'll get to the Tuesgays shit in a moment. We're throwing in some anal jokes, though.
Yeah, queef.
We've it's all been said before. Ford to New York dropped dead back in the day, and all that shit. And we know that that's what sells. That's capitalism. This is why we're in such fucking turmoil. Is bad sells. If you go, New York is going to burn down in 2022. Ooh, click, click, click. Everybody pass it around. But also, everyone's talking about there's an uptick in crime, which is obviously true, and it's happening. It's weird. A guy was shot at Grand Central. But we were at a 30-year low of violence, so we're upticking from a low spot. It's not 1977 out here. I mean, crime has been plummeting in this city for decades, and so now it's upticking. But I think it'll be okay.
I hope. But his argument was that we got all these skyscrapers. Everybody goes, yeah, but the financial capital of America is in New York City. You got the stock exchange, you got Wall Street, you got this and that. But he's like, it's all Zoom now, so we don't even need the building. So now you can just do that shit from Nashville.
That's a good point. I think I heard that too. Now, don't get me wrong. My counter argument here, it's coming from a retard. I'm like a hockey fanatic comedian. I don't know what the fuck. I'm just trying to look at a positive spin here, but I heard the same thing. We got crazy real estate and no one wants to use it, and everyone's going, why would we go back to the office?
Right.
I mean, I feel that way now, and I understand people want us to do in person. We'll go back to some in person here, but there is something to the fact that I'm like, when this podcast ends, I close my computer and I can take a shit on the bed, and I'm not in Greenwich Village. I don't have to get on a train to a train to a train. So even in our profession, I'm doing these Zoom shows. I love it. I eat my dick and just close my computer.
I get it. I love eating dick and closing computers, but it's funny. He did a callback to Johnny Depp. He was apparently reported that he shit on his own bed. Did you hear that?
No, I didn't hear, but he doesn't seem like he's doing well, that guy.
No, he seems a little sloppy. And speaking of which, Poppy died, by the way.
Enzo and Poppy?
Enzo and Poppy. Who's next? Kramer?
Jesus.
Well, he died on stage, but I don't know. It's scary. I just hope it comes back. I just got this new apartment, and here's the clinker. I don't think they're going to lower the rent.
Well, eventually have to rent. I mean, Vitor, I think we might have talked about this before. I know I say that a lot, yada, yada. But Vitor said, in order for, hey, I think we have the same water bottle. How about that?
Ah, Essentia.
It's good for reflux. This is all I ever drink.
Is that right?
That's what a doctor told me, and then I fucking bought it, and that's all I do now.
It's all water. It's all the same. It's tap.
Water. But I guess there has to be enough vacancies for the prices to come down. So all these people, every time you see a moving truck, that's good news to me.
Oh, interesting. But here's the juice. Here's the weird stuff. If you signed a lease, they got you. It's not going to go down till that lease is up.
Right. That's a good point. I got a long lease too.
Same.
It's a weird times. And by the way, Chris Allen, hung with him, had a nice cigar. I think I talked about that already. Maybe I can't remember, but yeah, I had a nice cigar, hung with him. Good hang, good guy. He's not fat anymore, which is really disappointing. I forgot that he actually was fat at one point.
Is he still black?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Ah, damn. Can't win them all. But
so he showed me, we were talking real estate and just blah, blah, blahing, and he sent me a photo of his home and what he pays for his mortgage.
Appalling.
I'm moving. I'm going to move out there. I mean, I'm going to be Chris Allen's neighbor. He's tolerable. I'll move out there.
Wow. I mean, he lives in Charlottesville or whatever the hell it is. I probably shouldn't have said that. But he lives out in Virginia. You really want to live in the middle of hell like that?
I mean, have you seen his house? He's got one of those, what do you call it? The porch, a wraparound porch with little white fucking picket things. His yard is the size of Central Park, and he pays like $3.25 for his mortgage. It's insane.
Oh, wow.
Driveway, the works. I mean, he's out there. Like, I mean, he's got 48 guns because he's got bears and, white people in his area.
Tiki torches.
But, I mean, it's a hell of a home. I could save like $1,500 a month and have like a 12-bedroom house.
I know. Then you could you're right by D.C. You got a hub. You can fly all over the country, do gigs.
I know. I'd have to, live near Chris Allen. But other than that, it's pretty great.
Yeah. And his son is little, so he'd have to babysit probably. But, that seems nice, but I like New York. But then again, if New York's nothing's open, what's the difference?
Right. But here's the thing. This is what I realized. It's like My Hometown by Bruce Springsteen, which is, my favorite. You guys know how I feel. But there's a great part of the end of the song where he says, last night, me and Kay, we laid in bed talking about getting out, packing up, heading south. And then he goes, I'm 35, I got a boy. He says, he takes him around. He says, take a good look around. This is your hometown. Meaning, they sit there, they chat. What if we went here? What if we went there? But ultimately, you're like, we got a life. We chose a life. We're here. What are we talking about? We're not going anywhere.
All right. I hope you don't leave. I don't want to be stuck here alone paying $8 million a month and getting bugged in the subway.
No. Well, it's fun to imagine that you do, oh my God, if we lived here. I'm like, we got an apartment, we decorated, we got the office downstairs, and I live here. I'm a New Yorker. I've been here for 13 years.
Yeah, same. I love it. I love my new apartment, and I love all the comedy clubs. I love the other New York comics. I love seeing them. I love sitting in a cafe. I love going out to eat. I like the whole kit and caboodle. And then you got Brooklyn, you got Queens, you got so much.
Oh yeah, it's the best. And not to mention now I got a car. I'm going out to Jones Beach tomorrow morning, and you got the U.S. Open coming to town every once in a while, once a year. And then the other thing is when a band goes on tour, they're hitting New York.
You got that right.
You live in Richmond, you go, I guess we got to go to D.C.
Right. But, yep.
No band is skipping New York.
And then if you want to do the D.C. Improv, which is the big club there, I guess you got about 3 clubs. You got Arlington, you got D.C., and then you got the Draft House. It's pretty good, actually.
Yeah, it's not bad, but it's something to think about someday, whatever bullshit. But, who knows? The thing is, nobody knows the future. It's all guesswork. Even if they work at Vanity Fair or the New York Times, they're just guessing. They don't know what the fuck.
Yep. I hope it comes back. That's all I can say, and I think it will, but what the hell do I know? I don't know anything about the economy, real estate, or children.
No, I don't understand nothing either. But one thing I do understand is in these times, you tend to get a little sweaty. It's hot. It's humid. It's summer. Look what he's got, folks. For the folks not watching, Mark is holding a cup of, what do you call it? A scoop of native deodorant. What is that, a tube?
Yeah.
What is a deodorant? A canister?
Maybe a tube, a roll-on.
What the hell is it? A deodorant cube.
Cartridge?
He's got a cartridge of deodorant, folks.
There you go.
Hey, anyways, it's native deodorant. Mark and I love it. They sent it to us a while back, and I just started buying it. I buy it because I love it. They sent it to me. I used it. I love it. Sarah loves it. It's all natural. It's also vegan, by the way. It's never been tested on animals either. This is some first-class stuff. Native is made from natural ingredients. There are things you've actually heard of, like coconut oil, shea butter, and tapioca starch. Did you know that the aluminum in deodorant can actually plug in your sweat glands to keep you from sweating? That's why Native never uses ingredients like aluminum, parabens, sulfates, or talc. Tom Dustin, years ago, we thought he had cancer because he was using some, whatever deodorant, and he got that. It filled his pore in. He had a big lump.
Really?
From using that aluminum crap. So
Yikes.
Switching to an aluminum-free deodorant doesn't mean you have to sacrifice on odor protection, by the way. Native will keep you smelling fresh all day long. Mark, you got it in your hand. Tell them about it.
I love this stuff. This is cucumber and mint. It's subtle, but it's fresh. This is how strong this shit is. Me and the lady use it. We use the same roll. we'll just put it on. And it's strong enough for my pubes and good enough for her armpit hair. So I love it. Strong enough for a man, made for a douche. Do what I did and make the switch to Native today by going to nativedeo.com. nativedeo.com/Tuesdays. Or use promo code Tuesdays at checkout to get 20% off your first order. That's nativedeo.com/Tuesdays, or use promo code Tuesdays at checkout for 20% off your first order. Get Native today.
Nicely done. Well, that was, a crazy first half. I feel like we got to get sillier in the second half here. We've been really dissecting and divulging. We're trying to learn.
Yes, yeah, I just want to know, but it's scary to ask questions. You get it ain't my job to tell you what's what. Like, all right, sorry, Jesus Christ. Just trying to figure it all out.
Nowadays, you can be a bad person for asking.
I know, that's very unhealthy. We'll get nowhere.
You isolate some audio and go, wait, doesn't it seem weird that if you say this, you say that? And they go, look at this fucking guy.
This chooch over here is, alt-right. I'm like, wait, what? I'm not even alt. So, here's a clinker. I was doing my daily walk around the village, and I bump into none other than Rahm.
Rahm?
Remember Rahm?
Ram Dass?
CD-ROM, Rom-Com. He's the Indian guy who owns that restaurant in the village who gypped me on the goddamn bill.
Oh, Ram!
Yes.
Oh, I thought you meant a guy that I know in my regular life, Ram.
No. Romulus. This guy, I walked by. I got he's good.
Very good. I love him.
I do too. That guy, that's Chicago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good on his feet, that kid.
He's missing a finger, I believe. Or a piece of a finger. Or is that the other guy? I forget the two guys.
What, do you get caught in a pooper? How do you lose a finger?
There's a Rahm Emanuel, and then the other Obama guy that's the Attorney General, Eric Holder. Which one's missing the finger? I think it's Rahm.
Rama.
Or maybe it's Eric Holder. I don't know. They're both nice guys, and one of them's missing half a finger like Garcia.
Call in.
Jerry.
Was he?
Who? What?
Jerry?
He's missing a finger, too, on his playing hand. He's got like what do you call that? The stinker? Shocker.
The pooper, yeah.
He's missing his ring finger, a piece of it.
One in the pink, two in the stink, or whatever it is. So I'm walking by. Now I got sunglasses on, a hat, and a pair of panties on my face. It's COVID. And he goes, whoa, hey, where you been? I go, I've actually moved a few blocks away. And he's like, we never see you around here anymore. And he goes, tomorrow, it's just Saturday. He goes, tomorrow, come in for brunch. It's on me.
Oh, boy.
And I go, is that right? And he goes, I swear to God, it's on me. I'm not going to be here tomorrow, but I'll put a note.
Oh, come on, Rom.
I know. So I go, all right, maybe I will. How do you like that? I'll put a note, huh? Okay. The note never works, by the way. You put a note, sticky, whatever it is, and nobody gets a note. Message in a bottle.
Here's the thing with the note. You got to write 4 notes. I want one on the wood and the podium. I want one in the bar. I want one in my asshole, and put one in the bathroom, and then stick one on the menu.
Yes, and you know what? Give me a note as well, so I can keep it in my wallet, and I'll throw it at the waiter when the time is right. So I go, you sure it's on you? And he goes, it's on me, baby. And I was like, he must have heard the app, because he was hammering it. He was hammering it home. This was on, I got this. And I go, all right. I didn't even go back.
Really?
Screw him. I'm not falling for that again. Fool me once, jizz in my ass. Fool me twice, I'm gay.
Now, did you walk by to get a sense, to feel it out or anything?
No. I walked by at like 5 in the afternoon. It was already dinner time, but part of me wants to go in there and go, hey, you got any notes for me? But I'm not falling for that one again. Come on.
I think the note question is a good idea. Go in there and say, hey, are there any notes left by old Rahm?
Yeah, because you got to think a restaurant, it's nothing but notes. It's, here's today's specials, 86 this, it's 8 million receipts. They put the receipts in that little needle. It's all notes.
Yeah, I don't trust that guy ramen noodle there. I don't like his I don't like his style. I don't like his notes.
Yes, top ramen.
It's a little
Bottom
tricky.
ramen. Yeah, I don't
but
like
good
it.
for you. Good for you. You get your own damn. You can make. I'd rather make my own suit.
Yeah, exactly. So I had eggs and avocado, but yeah, screw that guy. And you're not pulling the wool over this kook's dick.
Well, good for you. And how about this? This is a quick little, baby penis here. But the other day,
Nirvana.
I went for a run. I go running every other morning now because I'm old and my body hurts from running, which makes me sad. But
that's not good.
I got to run every other day now. It's
actually bad for you. They say it's horrible for the joints. It's bad on the bones and the noggin.
Especially the sidewalk. It's all cement here. I got no track near me or anything. Every once in a while I'll go to the park. But anyway, so I'm running and, you get the feeling that it's going to rain. It's drizzly. There's rain in the forecast. It's gray. The whole thing. So I go for a run and the park there's like a little park a few blocks away from me here in Astoria, down by the river, Matt Foley. So I run down there. I go, I don't want to run too far. I'll stay nearby because I can tell it's going to rain any moment. So I'm about 2 miles in. It starts spitting. So I got the spit going, and I'm starting to get nervous that it's going to be a downpour. 'Cause you don't want the skies to open up. I got my phone on me. I got my cash. I got my earbuds in, or my Raycons in.
Yes.
And I don't want it to get too crazy. So I finish up the run, but I want to get the whole run in. I finish the run. Now I'm going to Lots of Bagels to get my morning bagel, my Starbucks. It's all routine. And as I'm getting to Starbucks, about a block away, just that sky opens up, which I never understand what that means. It doesn't actually open up. It just it stays dark.
It's not a labia.
But whatever, it just starts torrentially pouring. That
yes.
So I run into Starbucks. I'm just soaking wet, and they're all like, "Is it raining?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's fucking raining, you fucking son of a bitch." And now,
is it raining? No, my girl's a squirter. What do you think?
In the old days, you would go in and you just go, "All right, I'll just wait it out in Starbucks. I'll be wet." But they kick you out. There's no fucking around anymore.
Right.
So I get my tea, and I'm like, "All right, I got to go outside." So I go, and for a minute, I'm standing under the awning. But then you're just like, well, how long am I going to be here for? The storm is too long. I'm already wet. So I'm like, fuck it. I'll just go for it. So I go to Lots of Bagels. I go in there. I get my bagel, my banana, my cinnamon roll. They put it in the brown paper bag. I walk out of there. I stand under the awning. I'm like, I'm just going for it. I live about, 2 blocks, but it's like across blocks,
Okay.
So it's those long, like the avenues in Manhattan.
Right.
So it's probably, I don't know, a quarter mile or something like that. And it is just torrentially downpouring. So I'm jogging. I got a hot tea in this hand with the little green sword, but it's still spitting up there. So I'm getting little hot spikes, like little spits of boiling water on my thumb.
Hot spit. I hate it.
My thumb's boiling. I got the paper bag. I'm carrying like a football, but it's just deteriorating. It's a paper bag.
Right.
So it's coming apart. So I got a banana squeezed under my elbow. I got a cinnamon roll in this hand and a bagel that's just getting wet. Direct rain on my whole wheat. And I'm running and trying to hold all of them. I'm soaked, and my phone's in my pocket. That's bouncing around. My shorts are soaked, so the phone's getting wet. And you don't want a wet phone. That's a whole situation.
Hate a wet phone.
So then I get to
wet ass phone.
I'll take it. So we get out. I'm across the avenue, 30. I don't want to say exactly where I live, but I'm on a 30th-ish avenue, and I got the red light. So I'm like, all right, and this car's whizzing by. So I'm like, I'll wait under this dry cleaning awning until the light changes. And right when I'm laying there, I've never been a guy that's afraid of lightning. It's exciting. It's cool. I'm sitting there, and it just goes, boom, boom. The loudest thing I've ever heard. It had to have struck the lightning or whatever, like 6 feet from me. Bang! The whole sky lit up. It hurt my eyeballs. Like it flashed like fucking like Rear Window. It just was like, it sent like flash bullies, and I went, what? And I jumped like Scraggy or Scrappy, whatever the fucking asshole's name is. Not Scooby. Who's the dude? The joint guy? Casey Kasem. What's that guy's name?
Sammy Sosa. What's his name?
Isn't it Scraggly? He has the beard.
Well, there's Scrappy Doo.
That's the cousin.
That's the small dog. Yeah, shit.
What's his name? Casey Kasem plays him.
Yeah, I know. Shaggy.
I was like, Shaggy. I went, woo! And my feet went like, boop, 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 and I just shot across the street. I mean, I was scared.
Yeah.
It was like, I'm going to get hit because I'm a conductor. I'm tall. I'm tall.
Right.
I got a Sox hat with the little metal cap thing on the top of it.
Yes, you're an antenna.
So I was nervous. I was like ducking like I was running under a helicopter because I didn't want to be the highest conductor or whatever.
Right.
Choo-choo. And I ran over. And then you got the keys. You always fuck up the keys when you're going to get in there.
Fuck up the key. It's like a horror movie. You drop it once, then the banana falls, and then you got to pick up the banana, then you got to get the key, and you can't get the right one going.
It was wild, but I finally got in, and I dumped all the wet bananas and the cinnamon rolls and the thing. But then it was fun because Sarah's always in bed. She sleeps in. I came in, and I think I might have been sexy for like a second. Because I come in, I'm soaking wet, and it's thunder and lightning. It's dark and gloomy, and I had to peel the shirt off, which I think is appealing.
Oh, okay.
Had to pull the shirt off, and she had like one eye open. She's like, who is it? Is someone here? And I was just soaked all the way through the bones. I got fully butt naked. I mean, my dick was, the size of my nephew's thumb because it was cold. But
sure, it was missing like Emmanuel.
But yeah, I don't know. It was fun, and I was wet, and then I just jumped in bed, wet and nude, and it was pretty exciting. But I was pretty frightened for like a split second.
I get it. I mean, first off, a couple things. One, don't you kind of want a ton of sympathy when you come in from the rain? You want everybody to go, oh my God, you got caught in it. You're soaked. Let me help you out there. Here's a towel. Here's a hairdryer.
Yeah, I have that problem. I mean, it's all ego. You always want the proper reaction to everything. Where Sarah, she sits up and she's like, "But it's bad out there." I'm like, "Bad? That's where I was.
Right.
I was out there. That's what I'm saying."
Exactly. Also, the other thing, how crazy must it have been in like the 1400s or the 1300s when you really thought that was God or that was Zeus or Allah, whoever it is, and you're on a boat in the middle of the Atlantic, with the scurvy and the worms and the Native Americans out there shooting you, the pirates, and you see a lightning bolt. You're just like, oh man, we're fucked. God hates us.
Oh, completely. I mean, all that stuff. There's so much to be. This is like a more serious-ish note. There's so much to be down about, worried about, the COVID, the business, but so much to be grateful for that we have some answers to all this stuff. Because what you're saying, I mean, even a sneeze back in the year 48, someone just goes, "Wah!" They must have been like, fucking burn this fucking maniac. What's wrong with this guy?
Of course. I mean, they even thought it was spirits leaving your body. That's why they say God bless you, because they're saying like, hey, you got rid of that dumb spirit, you idiot. Now you can hang out with us.
Yeah, it's crazy, and lightning hitting your hut and all that shit. Insane.
Oh, yeah. The whole thing is cuckoo, and then you have to go, well, it's we didn't catch any deer today because that's God's will. And they go, yeah, I guess it's God's will. There must have been one guy going, fuck that, I'm going to find a deer.
Yeah, that's a good question of how many atheists there were back then.
Yes. I think there's a few, because I've been watching this Manson documentary, and they keep showing the hippies, and they keep showing Manson being like, all right, so there's going to be a pit, and once we get into that pit, God will come speak to me, and then I'll tell you guys, and they're all like, oh, yeah, all right, great. But you wonder, did they buy this? Are they really believing? Are they that stupid?
Well, those people that were drugged and like, I think victims of,
Abuse.
mental abuse or something. But also, I think he picked up all the people that were all fucked up from home. That's how they all capitalize on those people.
Yeah,
so they feel like, now I belong.
Yeah, they always say he's so charming. He was smiley and cute. I mean, I don't know. How charming could you be? The guy was 5'1". He's got the googly eyes. He's got a swastika on his asshole. Like, I don't know. I don't buy it.
I don't know. We love Vitor.
True. He's little.
Yeah, he's got a swastika on his asshole too. But that's between you and me.
That's true, but we're not. You got to have a target. But we're not following him into the abyss.
No, that's a good point. I mean, I don't even see him that much. But
exactly.
But he came over the other day. It was quite pleasant.
All right, he's very soft spoken, which I like. You know what's great about Vitor is if he's in the middle of a sentence and somebody cuts him off, he just goes with it. He never goes, hey, I was speaking.
Oh yeah, no, he's a real pushover. But I'll tell you, I told you, he's all jacked up now. He's got his head shaved. He's ripped up. He's nothing to be trifled with. This Gary Veter.
No, I saw a photo of him. I had to close my computer. It was too intense. That head is beaming with whiteness.
I know he's really come into his own, and he's a dad, I think, or whatever.
Oh yeah, I think he is a dad. No, whatever. He's a father, and he's got a little kid, and they're the same size.
Yeah, I was supposed to meet the kid, but change of heart, I guess, or plans.
Oh,
they must have saw my resume.
Kid, you want to give him the herd immune, I feel like. Give it to him now. It's like chickenpox. Give him corona.
Oh, if I had a baby, I'd cough right in his face.
Oh, yeah, totally. I'd finger it. But here's the thing about what's going on in the world now. The Stand, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, they've been doing shows, and they're pretty good. And I did one the other day, and it was such a good hang. It was like Soder and Shane Gillis and Jessica Kierson and Rachel Feinstein, and all these people were hanging out. And we're having a good time. And I'm talking to Ian Lara, and they go, Mark Norman. And I just ran on stage, which, we used to do that all the time. You just run up there. You're ready. In these COVID days, I was not ready. I bombed. And it was that old-fashioned bomb of like, I started with the wrong thing. I dug a hole. I couldn't get out of it. Then my brain went blank. I was sweating. Oh, man, it was ugly. Like, you could see a lot of audience members going like, oh, boy, this is bad. Like, that whole thing covering their face, and everybody was uncomfortable. I was uncomfortable. Woo! Boy, talk about bummed out after that.
Yeah, I feel you, and I hear you. You're being seen and heard right now, Mark. I just did the Bel Air show that you did the week before, Jay Nog, and similarly, and I forgot I plugged it hard on Tuesdays with Stories. I just forgot.
Yeah.
That we kept talking about it. So all these gays showed up, and I was quote unquote headlining. I was going last, and you haven't seen anyone since November. So Cantor just got home for the first time in 7 months. So I was blowing him, and Carmen Lynch was there, and we love her. So I was eating her out, and then Derek Gaines is there, and he fucking murdered, and so I was kissing him on the lips, and all of a sudden, same thing. They go, "Hey, you're up, pal," and I'm the headline. They're like the headliner tonight. And then I walk out there and I recognize the Tuesgays because they're so loyal. They come out and
you're hot off a killer special. So you're the guy with the new hour cooking.
I know. So I went up there and I had nothing. I mean, luckily a delivery guy in a scooter just drove straight into the stage. So I made a couple cracks about that. And that killed. But the material just ate a bag of cheese. I just stunk it up. And at one point, I just kicked over the mic stand to be funny. You just like do weird shit. And it was just bad news bears. And I felt like I disappointed fans. People came up, they're like, hey, we're huge Tuesgays. And same as you, I started, my left shoe was on the right foot and the right foot was on the left shoe. And it was a piss poor performance. And I know you're feeling it. We're all feeling it. You write a joke and then you try it and you go, I'm going to make some adjustments in 9 days when I do another set.
Exactly. And you can't adjust, you can't tweak, and every shot is your big shot. You got to blow your wad on every show because you don't know when the next one's going to be. But also, you have a show. This was in front of cars. I feel like you got to give yourself a little slack, Jack.
That's true, but when you're a performer of any kind, or of any kind of job even, that you're like, there's plenty of reasons that it could have been bad, but I know I didn't.
Right.
I didn't prepare. I didn't have it sorted out.
Totally.
We're so used to as doing sets every night or multiple sets a night that you can just go, you're up. Oh, great. Okay. Yeah. And now I'm like, I got to sit down at a desk and have a typewriter and a calculator before I can go on.
Same. And you go like I forgot how to do stand up. It was such a jarring bomb that I forgot what the art of stand up was. And then after it's over, I forgot how bad it hurts to bomb. Like that feeling of like, oh, I suck, I blew it. I had this planned out all day. I was going to go there and do this and that, and it all went to hell. And just the feeling of letting people down, the feeling of like not doing as much as you could. the feeling of like people in the audience going, "This guy sucks. Who's this guy?" And all that combined is just a real bummer factory.
Yeah, especially with the specials out, and I'm getting blown over here. I'm so grateful. I appreciate it. But it's emails, Instagrams, tweets. Oh, it's great. You're great.
Yep.
My God, this is hilarious. And then you have that ego thing when you're on stage, especially at a parking lot in Queens, and there's like 3 tables of like you said, you could tell the audience is like, this guy sucks.
Yes.
And you're like, no, look at the comments.
But that's one of the beauties of stand-up. It's why it's so lunch, is that it keeps you real. You can get blown all day on Twitter and Instagram. You get the Venmos, the messages, but you still got to cook when you're up there. You still got to tap dance a little. You can't just let it ride. Because I used to always talk to Alan, our therapist, and I'd be like, I did this radio show. I couldn't think of anything funny. I flailed. I bombed. I panicked. And he was like, why do you do that? I'm like, yeah, you get in your own head. You start, the neuroses starts eating away at you. And he goes, yeah, but you're a funny guy, so just be you. And I'm like, I get that, but it ain't that simple there, Jewface. Sometimes there's a wall up.
Yeah, so sometimes, it's like be you, but you're like, but I'm not funny all the time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm at the movie theater. I'm not being funny, so I'm being me. I'm sitting there watching the movie thinking about how we're all going to die someday, and that's not very funny.
That's a good point. I wish I had thought of that then. I was just like, no, you don't get it. You're not a comic. You don't know what it's like. You can't just think of something all the time. He's like, but you're funny, so just be you. Be funny. And I was like, you're crazy.
Yeah, that's like being like, you're a therapist, so while you're taking a shit, help me out with my problems. That's not a perfect analogy.
Why'd I get diddled, while you're wiping your ass, call my dad. But so that was a real wake-up call. Like, all right, this is, even though it's a pandemic, even though people are sitting on the fucking sidewalk in the bike lane, you still gotta, go over your shit a little bit.
Yeah, I got to write some jokes. Well, how about this, by the way? I haven't had a dental issue in a while on the show. I mean, we haven't had to go. But so way back in January, I had another root canal, and then they give you, they do the root canal, and then they give you a temporary crown while they make a new crown, which is the final, goes on your tooth, and that's your thing. So I had the temporary back in March, and then he what do you call it? They do a mold to find your tooth, and then they make the crown. And then he was like, okay, so next week we'll put it in. We'll stick it up your ass and glue it in. I go, great, I'll see you next week. COVID happens. They do the shutdown. I call him on the phone. I'm shaking. I'm like, I got a temporary. We talked about it way back then. A couple Tuesgays emailed and said, hey, don't worry. The temporary will last years. Don't sweat it. So I go, great. So then finally it's open. I go, let me go get rid of this temporary, get a permanent. So I go in there to the dentist, and I go, all right, you got that thing still. And you're always a little nervous that they're going to lose it because like 7 months have passed.
Right.
So I go in there, and I thought it was going to be easy peasy, Japanesey. I lay down, and you can't spit because of COVID. No, you can't rinse at the dentist. So they got to use the sucky thing for everything.
Okay.
So instead of spitting, usually you rinse and you spit in the sink. I guess that'll cause COVID, which is ridiculous. So instead, they just stick the sucky thing and vacuum your mouth the whole time.
I hate the sucky thing.
It's sucky.
It is.
So
then you close your mouth, you feel like you're gonna die.
Exactly. So then, and it never gets all of it. It's like it's a mop. It never gets everything.
Yeah.
So now I'm like swallowing Listerine. I'm gonna relapse because of this piece of shit and these dumb COVID rules.
Yep.
He's not a piece of shit. He's a good guy, but I just hate the COVID rules is my point. Anyways, he sticks the crown on there. I'm about to leave. They go, let's just do an x-ray, make sure it fits. Doesn't fit. No fit. He's like, see this tiny little space? I don't see. They're pointing at the, I do this bit in my act. He's pointing at the x-ray. He's like, I'm like, I don't know what a fucking x-ray. I don't give a shit. It doesn't fit. So I got to go back. He's like, we're going to have to anesthetize you again. We're going to have to remeasure the whole thing for a third time. What the fuck is this?
Brutal. So how are you going to do that? I mean, when are you going to go?
I got to go Thursday now. They got to numb me all up, stick needles in my mouth, stick needles in my gums, remeasure the thing, and it's the third time. And I'm like, well, how do I know this is going to work this time?
You're right. I feel like he should pay for that one. Like, that should be a freebie. If he fucked up, that ain't on you.
Oh yeah, I don't pay because it's still the same service, but still, I got to go in there and get all numbed up, and it's unfortunate. It's nobody's fault. Yada yada. It's probably the factory or whoever the fuck's making these molds, I guess.
Yeah, you broke the mold.
But 7 months later, you think you're gonna pop it in? It sucks. And how about this? This is a little weird kind of faux pas, I think. So I've had the temporary on there, and it's the end of the day. It was like a 5 o'clock appointment. And the guy, his assistant, this other dentist I never even met, he's like, I pop off temporary. He leans down to pop off the temporary, and it clicks off, and I just get a whiff of like shit. Like it smells like horse shit. And I was like, Jesus. I was like, is it infected? Is something wrong? Because I'm a panicky guy. And the guy's like, no, nothing wrong. It looks good. And I was like, but why does it stink like that? And he's like, I don't smell it. Maybe bacteria. And I was like, bacteria in my tooth? Oh, my God. And then a couple minutes later, the same guy leans down to do something. I realize it's his breath.
Oh!
I got a whiff of the assistant's breath. It smelled like the inside of Mr. Ed's asshole. I mean, horrific.
Of course.
I thought I had, cancer of the tooth or something because it smelled so rotten, but he just happened to exhale just as the thing popped off. So I thought we revealed some eternal stench. But
yes.
It was his face.
What is that? When I was a kid, my dentist had the worst breath on the planet. It's an oxyanal. These guys should be brushing and flossing like there's no tomorrow. I mean, it's like a porn star who can't get it up. It doesn't add up. It's a cop who steals.
Well, he needed OxyClean because this is some horseshit. But I think maybe because it was end of the day and they have the mask on all day now. So it's just you're breathing in your own shit and bacteria or whatever. But I felt bad, too, because I'm like, that guy might know that I smelled his breath. Because he's like, I don't know. Maybe it's your bacteria.
Yeah.
But for a moment, I was like, dude, shoot me in the face if that's what my tooth smells like.
Well, is he an Indian fella?
I don't know what he was, because he has the mask, and then he had the fucking
turban,
the shield.
Oh yeah,
the double face thing.
I see. Wow, it went through that.
I mean, it came right through, right up my nose, and then down my asshole and out, and
Jesus. That's an epidemic, right? Whatever the hell, a pandemic or a breath-demic, whatever it is. That it's like a cliche that these dentists have horrible breath.
Yeah, it was bad news bears. But I mean, I was so relieved once I got a second and a third whiff. I was like, I know what's going on here. But for a good 6 minutes, I thought the inside of my tooth smelled like, a village with no water.
Right. Oh man, that is wild. Also crazy to think all we talk about is got to wear a mask, got to cover the face, got to close your mouth, don't breathe on people, and this guy is in your mouth. It's the exact opposite of what we're supposed to be doing.
Right, and then I can't spit Listerine into a sink, but they can stick their hands in my mouth. I mean,
right.
I'm no COVID conspiracy theorist. I think it's a serious problem, but there's a lot of weird shit. And by the way, what's going on with the ventilators? I mean, I haven't heard the word ventilator in 6 months.
I had the same thought. Ventilators are out. We're just queefing freely. I don't know. I feel like we were making them like it was like World War II. We're making dive bombers, just like everybody's got to chip in and make a ventilator out of toothpaste and, lipstick. And now we don't even talk about them.
Yeah, which, by the way, I'm talking about the media. I'm not talking about, obviously, there's still ventilators. We're using ventilators. I'm not dismissing the illness. I just think the media has just gone, they've moved on to, whatever the fuck. But I digress.
Yeah, I don't hear about hand washing. I don't hear about Purell. I feel like a lot of things have just kind of come and gone on my face.
Oh, I stopped washing my hands. But
same.
We got to wrap it up. I got to give a shout out to everybody that has Venmo'd, PayPal'd, emailed. One guy from Australia sent $500. Woo-wee! Which is just insane, sir. I mean, that was ridiculous. I gave some of it to the Nature Conservancy because I thought, his country's on fire, and I'm like, well, this is.
Oh yeah, forgot about that. Those were better days.
That's over too. Yeah, well, who gives a fuck about them?
Yeah. You had your moment in the sun.
Thank you to everyone that's retweeted, fucking done an Insta story. So many Insta stories, and I haven't been able to even write back to everybody. I'm trying to write back, but there's just so many, and I had no idea how adored and loved we were. It really means a lot, and so many of it's Tuesgays. I mean, the fact that after it finished airing, like 10 minutes later, it had like 25,000 views, and that's all Tuesgays.
Yes.
So,
yes.
And the comments are all, check out Mark Norman and Tuesdays with Stories and yada yada. So I feel overwhelmingly grateful. I just appreciate it. Thank you all.
Yeah, we got such a good base. Like, not only are fans loyal and they listen and watch everything we do, they also have information. Like, you go, oh, I got a popcorn kernel stuck in my dick hole, and they go, oh, all you got to do is get a magnet and 2 pieces of duct tape, and you're good to go. And you're like, hey, thanks.
And I will add, we have good nice fans.
Yes.
Some of these places, Stavros, we both did his show.
Ooh.
For whatever reason, the likes to dislikes is even. They have like trolls.
Yeah. They're
Troll
crazy.
fans.
And they hate him even. They'll be like, I fucking hate Stavros, and they're on all the pods. I'm like, what are you doing then? You're listening to it. You hate it?
Yeah, we got no troll, minimal trolls, and I think we scared off a lot of the alt-writer, the alt-left people we scared off in the second episode. The alt-right people we chased off, so we got a good group of like really nice, thoughtful people, and God bless you. I feel like George Bailey. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we love all of you, and they're such a good base. Like, they just like funny stuff, and if you put out a funny special, they will jump on it, and they will share it, and they will spread the word and spread the cheeks. Yeah.
By the way, about 75 Tuesgays are like, love Tuesgays, never seen Joe do stand-up. That's so bizarre to me that people just listen to the show and don't think to watch us do comedy.
Yeah, that's
stand-up
kooky.
comedy.
But that's why these YouTubes are so great, because it's so damn accessible. You can just pop that thing right open and send a link off to your dad, your grandpa, and everybody gets to see it.
Yeah. So...
And then they see the special, then they go to the pod, or they go to the pod, then see the special. So it helps itself.
Yeah, so keep doing that. Keep spreading the word. Thank you kindly. Thank you dearly. And, that's all I got. I don't really have any shows.
Well, check out the Patreon as well. And I got a big... I'm in Utah this weekend, but Salt Lake City. But check out the Patreon. We got a ton of bonus stuff, a lot of funny guests. I got a big guest on the hook, but he's so busy. He's kind of flaky with the text. So he said he's in. He said he wants to do it. We're just trying to find a date, and I think he's a get. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I thought there was more coming. But yeah, we got Tim Dillon on there, and you get the video a week early. And soon, I want to address this too. We're going to do The Strangers by the Lake. It's going to be a couple weeks, so hang tight. My schedule's insane. I got to go to West Texas with my in-laws, and we got to record 2 episodes this week. And I didn't even get to talk about it. I did 22 radio shows in like 3 hours last week. Bunch of podcasts. Yeah, so it's a crazy media time, but we'll get it to you ASAP. It's happening. Don't worry.
It's going to happen. We're going to go gay. We're going to be by the lake. And Shelby's got some ideas on how to film the whole thing. We'll make it work.
All right.
You guys are the best. Thank you.
Thank you. Praise Allah. Blow your mom, and we'll see you in hell.
George is saying cut it.
No